Here's an example from last summer. Two young fellows who got temporary part-time jobs as lifeguards at a City of Trenton pool got into a slugging match with each other, fighting over a basketball. All right. And of course the children are drowning while they're fighting. But no police, no, just two guys slugging it out. I guess they got tired and stopped slugging it out. But then when they got their energy back, they went down to Trenton Municipal Court and filed complaints against each other. And when we went to court, both sides adamant, oh, he gave me a black eye, I had $5 worth of medicals, And the judge is saying to them, listen, if I find either one of you or both of you guilty, I'm going to forfeit your public office. And you're not going to be very happy about that. You're just young fellows. You're only 18 years old. You sure you want to do this? Yes, we want our day in court. I had to do the double noggin knocker on them, knock our heads together to get them some sense. The guy who is the president of the firehouse, all right, it's the local fire district, sitting in his office smoking in a public building. The police come in and say, don't smoke in here, it's a public building. He says, okay, police, I won't do that anymore. Of course, the police come back 2 hours later to check, and there he is smoking again. So they charge him with a petty disorderly person offense of smoking in a public building, which on the surface is not all that bad, except he's the president of the firehouse A, and oh, by the way, state employee for 30 years making $125,000 a year. Both of those would have been going down the tubes through forfeiture of public office. The county prosecutor who smokes in his office, all right? This is something that, again, a petty disorderly person offense that could lead to catastrophe. The teacher who gets caught shoplifting at a mall or something of that nature. Again, someone who's going to be subject to forfeiture. These are all, just off the top of my head, these are all cases that I had in the past where these issues came up in municipal court. Judge, what about you? What's from your laundry list there?
Just off the top of my head, this past week I had a councilman in front of me on a sign ordinance violation. And of course, that's not a forfeiture issue because it's not a crime or an offense as defined in the criminal code. But just a quick little laundry list, as Bob refers to it, of matters that I've had. A mayor of a particular town, DWI, not an issue because it's not a crime or an offense as defined. A crime or a defense under 2C:1-14 is a crime, a petty disorderly or a disorderly. So that isn't in that category. A mayor from another town, same thing, DWI, not a crime or offense. Mayor from another town, harassment, I found no probable cause, so it didn't become an issue. A mayor from a fourth town, harassment, again, no probable cause. A councilman from a town, DWI, 4-day trial, not a crime or an offense.
What kind of county is this?
Oh, I haven't even started. Okay.
One day, right, Judge?
Not one, almost, Jim, almost.
Essex County.
Councilman from another town, harassment, trial, found not guilty, so it didn't become an issue. Same councilman, a separate harassment charge, came before me, pled guilty. I probably blew this. He resigned prior to coming and pleading guilty, but remember in the forfeiture statute, future employment is an issue. I probably should have entered an order. I didn't because he resigned. Councilman,
Was it related to his employment? Maybe it wasn't related to his employment.
yeah, we should have at least gone into that issue. We didn't even go into that issue. Councilman from another town, license plate frame violation. Cop was upset with him because of the police negotiations over salary. That's not a crime or an offense. Municipal court judge, municipal ordinance, not a crime or offense. Another municipal, actually two separate municipal court judges, ordinance violations, so not crime or offense. And then a third municipal judge on careless driving, again, not a crime or offense. A police officer from a town refused to take a complaint from a private citizen. And I just was saying to Joe, from the probable cause hearing I'd heard, I thought I was going to end up convicting this man, and I said to the defense attorney, I said, this guy may lose his job here, you better go talk to the prosecutor about a potential waiver. As it turned out, I found him not guilty once I heard the full trial. I had, every week I've got a police officer in court. So far, except for one, I've always found him not guilty, so it hasn't become an issue. The one where I found him guilty, I didn't find that it was involving or touching his office. He'd been at the Giants football game, got drunk with a couple other cops. They went to a diner after hours, saw a guy dressed in goth clothes. He didn't really like him, got into a fist fight. I didn't find that it was involving or touching, so I didn't forfeit. An ex-police chief on a lewdness charge. I dismissed it at the end of the state's case, so it didn't become an issue. Correction officers. Every week I have correction officers out of the jail that have inmates making complaints against them. So far, I've found all not guilty, so there hasn't been an issue. State senator, harassment. I found no PC, so it went out the window. High school music teacher, lewdness on the parkway and one of the rest areas. I convicted him. That's a whole story in itself. Then I felt that it wasn't involving or touching his office because it didn't involve a student, wasn't at the school. I didn't forfeit, but then the Board of Education filed a motion. If you want, we can go into detail on that later. And I conducted a whole hearing on that. Did forfeit his office, and it stayed forfeited all the way up through the appellate division. Grammar school teacher hitting a child in the classroom. I convicted her, forfeited her office, and I was reversed on appeal. High school principal harassment. I'm going to hear that Wednesday. So that's still pending. Probation officer, Joe and I can tell you a lot about this one, but I won't do it right now. If we have time later, I'll go into it. But I found him not guilty on a domestic violence assault. Separate trial with a probation E, found with drugs. I convicted him, forfeited his office. Joe appealed it to the law division. I was affirmed there, and I was reversed on a pretrial motion to suppress at the appellate division. And there's a whole story behind that. Maybe we'll get into that. You know the one I'm talking about.
I do.
Yeah.
The one where we won a big victory for our client long after he was dead.
Yeah, exactly right. Meter maid.
Very grateful.
A meter maid filling. She was writing out summonses and just not serving them. Just would write them out. She just didn't like confrontation, so she never put them on the car. I forfeited her position. Postal worker in a town, assault with another postal worker. I convicted, but now that's not a state employee, and the statute deals with state employees, so not a forfeiture. Municipal employee out of a town, a harassment charged by another employee. I found no probable cause, so I dismissed that. Another employee of a town, theft. I convicted this person and did forfeit the office because it was theft right while on the job. DPW worker harassing a supervisor, found him guilty after trial, forfeited his position. Firefighter, trespass at the mayor and council meeting, convicted him, didn't forfeit his office, didn't feel that it involved or touched. Another firefighter, obstructing, pled guilty to an ordinance, so that removed it from a crime or an offense. Another firefighter from another town was charged with 39-457, disregarding a police officer's instruction. Not a crime or offense, it's a traffic offense. A freeholder. County clerk made a harassment charge against the freeholder, tried the case, and acquitted the freeholder, so it wasn't an issue. But those are the issues that come in front of me every week.